Well, there have been some crazy things that have been happening with these Japanese companies apparently, allegedly embezzling money. And really, I should say not the Japanese companies, but rather just one person within them. You see, this actually was just something I was talking about not even 2 weeks ago. This is literally a copy and paste. It's just like a different Japanese video game company now. I'll mention that at the end of the video there as far as the comparison to the thing that happened not even 2 weeks ago. But essentially, this is surrounding GungHo Online Entertainment. This is a Japanese video game developer and publisher. It looks like they are really known from their big game from 2012 that is still popular today, 13 years later, and that is Puzzle and Dragons. Looks pretty cool. Now, the thing is, yeah, it's not the entire company, obviously, but rather it is one senior executive level employee that was apparently allegedly embezzling $2.35 million by sending fake outsourcing job orders to themselves. So to this very person that sent them. So that would have allowed them to allegedly embezzle or steal this over $2 million worth of money from the company. Now that is from an Automaton article. Now the actual source is literally an open letter from GungHo Online Entertainment. So here is kind of the header. I threw this in Google Translate, so some of it might sound a little off. Like for example, on the top left there, dear everyone. Never heard that before. So regarding misconduct by a former employee of our company. So they go on to say that it has come to light that a former employee of our company, which is a senior executive who has already been dismissed for disciplinary reasons, has engaged in misconduct over the past several years, including the misappropriation of company funds through the placement of fictitious work orders. Now, the Automaton article kind of summarized this sort of a 3-page statement here by saying that the employee created fictitious work orders through an online outsourcing platform listing GungHo as the client and themselves as the contractor, i.e. the recipient of the fake jobs. And by pocketing the payments, the former executive embezzled about 246 million yen, or roughly $1.6 million. And in a separate scheme, they also made improper payments to a certain third party, which drove the total damages to GungHo to about 2.3 or 2.4 million. Yeah, so there was like two things going on here. There was the fictitious work orders and the improper payments to a third party, allegedly. And overall, that led to allegedly $2.4 million worth of damages. And they do say that in addition to firing the employee, GungHo has actually contacted investigative authorities and they are preparing to file criminal charges. So it ain't gonna be good for whoever this executive is. Now, I will say, this is really reminding me of something that I talked about exactly 12 days ago in a video about Bandai Namco. Yeah, as I said at the start of this video, this is like literally a copy and paste of that exact story, just different company. It is actually crazy. This is what reminded me of it. It says, alongside implementing preventative measures, GungHo's leadership will take responsibility for the incident through pay reduction. So the CEO will receive a 30% monthly salary reduction for 3 months, and then some higher up executive directors will have pays docked by 10% in the same period. Now, you see, that reminded me of this video right here that I made 12 days ago. Literally, like the same exact thing, almost to a T, has happened allegedly by Bandai Namco, by a higher up there. They've since been fired, and yeah, the CEO and some higher ups, they are taking a pay cut kind of as punishment for this happening under their wing. So yeah, I have no idea why it's these two Japanese companies, video game companies, where it's the same exact thing that is happening, but it's very interesting, I guess not necessarily in a good way, that two companies pretty much at the same time have now reported it, that a higher up has embezzled about $3 million. Crazy stuff, definitely crazy allegations. We will see what actually happens with it.